Welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Hi and welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Just before we get stuck into it, to remind you of a brand new feature that we've got here on AFTV, on our app. If you get onto our app, there will be a link in the description. We've got a new super video feature where you can record a video and send that in to us regarding the transfers, right? So use our new super video feature. It's on our app right now, AFTV Plus. So you just get along to there. A link will be in the description if you want to send in a video with your feelings on to transfers at, well, we ain't done no transfers, but the transfers at the moment. Of course, today is the first day of July, the 1st of July. So are we going to see now more transfer activities? Certain teams are out of the Euros now. Also, you know, the PSR deadline, Profit and Sustainability Rules deadline has passed. That was yesterday, the 30th of June. So now are we going to just in general see more activity in the transfer market? I think we are going to. And when you think about it, and when you think about what Arsenal have been doing in the recent times, it's about getting players in early so that they can have a full pre-season. That is what Arsenal have been doing really, really well. Get players in early, have a full pre-season, and then hit the ground running come the start of the season. And of course, we got a really difficult start to the season. So our first pre-season's on the 28th of July, effectively at the end of this month. 28 days really for Arsenal to start getting in their big signings before that transfer window starts. Now, I can't get straight into the transfers without talking about the games last night. The England game. Gareth Southgate is the most luckiest manager on the face of this earth. Football's a crazy game. Seconds from going out of the Euros and then Jude Bellingham with that absolute stunner. And England going through there. And that means that, our players, in Reiss and Saka, who played all 120 minutes of that game, progressed through to the quarterfinals, which is great for them. And Ramsdale, of course. But it means they're away longer as well. Again, how does that affect transfers when you've got your main players? They could go all the way. And as I said, both of those players played the full 120 minutes last night. Saka even having to go to left back and play. So, in the other game, comfortable win for Spain. And how good was Nico Williams? What a player this guy is. He's an absolute star. One of the stars of the Euros right now. To me, Musiala, I get you put Bellingham in there, even though his performances ain't been as outstanding, but he's scoring the big goals. And this kid, Nico Williams, how good has he been? His goal last night was brilliant. He terrorised Georgia down that left-hand side. He can play left, he can play right. And we know that Arsenal have been heavy linked to him. We know that he's got this release clause of £46.5 million. But is it a deal that can be easily done? It's not so much the release clause. We know that Arsenal can do that. It's whether he is going to want to move. He was, asked about it, a couple of days ago. They had talking to them about, obviously the Euros, the journalists, and also talking to him about all these links, linking him with a move away, with link with Barcelona, all various clubs. And he said, listen, I'm really, really happy in Bilbao where he plays. And he even cited his brother as to, his brother stayed and stuff like that. Is he going to stay on in Bilbao? It seems astonishing that he would do, but his brother did do that as well. His brother was linked, Inaki Williams, linked with a move away to Liverpool, to various other clubs, decided to stay at Bilbao and has basically been there his whole career. Is Nico going to do the same thing, or will he be tempted with that move away? We got to get Nico Williams if he's available because he is hot. A really good player. Another player, of course, from the Euros that we've all been talking about is Riccardo Calafiori. Talking about this one every day as well. The Bologna centre-back linked again to Arsenal by various sources. We know that Spurs, who also want him, according to the rumours, he's not keen on a move to Spurs. And there's Juventus, which is apparently he is keen on a move to Juventus, but Bologna not keen to do business with Juventus. Still unhappy that they've taken their manager. So where is Riccardo Calafiori going to end up? Will Arsenal make an official approach over the next, say, week or so? Because now he's out of the Euros. Time now to negotiate. If Arsenal are serious about getting Riccardo Calafiori, now is the time. And let's see how that one develops out. There's definite interest there. There's this report in The Sun today that Arsenal are deliberating over a move for Victor Osimhen. Now, I don't know, they don't really seem to quote, serious sources behind it. We know that there's been interest from Arsenal in Victor Osimhen. We know what the sticking point's been, the price, right? Injury records you can throw into that as well, because he's not had the greatest of injury records in recent times. But we know about the £110 million release clause. Arsenal, according to their story, are willing to go up to 85 million. Napoli are saying they want the full £110 million release clause. If Napoli stick by that, he won't move this summer. Nobody is paying that. PSG, Chelsea, Arsenal, nobody. So there's going to have to be some sort of break on that. That's if indeed Arsenal still decide to move for him, but he's been linked again today. This one is interesting as well. I think this next player has probably been England's best player. You know what I mean? And a player that everybody was worried about before the start of the tournament. Would he be able to step up? He really has stepped up. Although I did think that last night he was a bit at fault for that Slovakia goal. And that's Marc Guehi. But apart from that, he's had a really, really good tournament. He's played really, really well. And he's been linked with Arsenal. He was linked a couple of weeks ago when the window opened. Still being linked today. It's said that Arsenal considering a move for Marc Guehi, according to various outlets. And as I said, he's been very good at the Euros. Palace, as we know, wants £60 million. And it seems to be that Arsenal seem to be considering either him, which of course is Marc Guehi, or Calafiori, one of those two. Who would you prefer? I guess when you look at Marc Guehi, he's been playing in the Premier League. He's Premier League ready. He'd be quality. Either of those would be quality. And of course, a lot of that depends on Jakub Kiwior. Is he staying or is he going? We know big interest again coming from Juventus over there in Italy, coming from AC Milan. What are Arsenal going to do about that situation with Jakub Kiwior? Are they keeping him? I thought he had a great season last year. Do you keep him? He's had a season in the Premier League. You develop him. Or do you go for one of these two that have really been standouts in the Euros in Marc Guehi or Calafiori? Would love to hear from you guys on that one. Now, on yesterday's show, I spoke about Jadon Sancho and how he'd been offered to Arsenal. According to Team Talk, and also going through the comments yesterday, I think most of you will be happy with what Team Talk are reporting today based off your comments, because according to Team Talk, they're saying that Arsenal have rejected the chance to sign Jadon Sancho. They're not interested in him. He's available for only around about £40 million. United paid about £80 million for him. He's still in his prime, did brilliantly when he went to Dortmund, but Dortmund just can't afford him at the moment. He's also got some humongous wages. He's on about £250,000 a week. So United have got a player on their hands that they just can't get rid of at the moment. Maybe he goes out on another loan, but Arsenal not interested in Jadon Sancho. And of course, not forgetting over the next 28 days, I think there could be a lot of movement with players away from Arsenal. One of them being Reiss Nelson. Again, being heavily linked with a move away today. Arsenal demanding at least £20 million for him. There's clubs that have said to be around this, talking about 15. I think Arsenal need to hold firm on these homegrown players when they're going to sell them. Reiss Nelson, for me, 20 to 25 million or no deal. Because when you check it out, Amari Hutchinson, who, you wouldn't say he's not as good as Reiss Nelson. He's an emerging talent. He was doing well at Arsenal, but Reiss Nelson was ahead of him. He didn't even really make a first-team appearance, right? Amari Hutchinson, yes, he's been out on loan and he's done really well at Ipswich, and now he's signed for Ipswich for £22 million. So if Amari Hutchinson is £22 million, how can teams be looking at Reiss Nelson for 15? I'm sorry. Arsenal got to hold firm on these, these amounts. Archie Gray, who they're all talking about, 30 million. Is he better than Emile Smith-Rowe? Has he shown... I mean, listen, his bags of potential. He's very, very young. But he's not like Emile Smith-Rowe. He's old. Why should Emile Smith-Rowe be 25 million, which I'm hearing teams are saying about? No chance. 30, 35 million, or forget it. And I think Arsenal, on these young talents that they've got, that have come through the ranks, they really got to hold firm on the amount of money that they're going to demand for them, because certainly I don't want to see those players going on the cheap. Otherwise, keep them, right? And that's a good situation. We're not desperate to sell some of these guys. I mean, I know like players like Reiss Nelson want to go and play, but the price has got to be right. Out of Chelsea, they're doing it time. You've got to hand that to Chelsea, the way they do that and get big money for these players. Some of them hardly even played. So those are the rumours for today. Don't forget, as I said, check out our super video feature, which is available on our app right now. The link is in the description. Click onto that and you can find out more details about that. You can send us in a video where you can let us know how you're feeling about the transfers at the moment. Thanks for watching the show, and I'll see you tomorrow. We've got a very, very special guest in the building today, one of the country's best actors. Ashley Waters in the building, man. Hey, listen.
This is amazing, man. I know you're going to do that whole, top boy, all of that stuff or whatever, but for me, this is crazy. I watch AFTV daily. Sometimes I get mad with you because you're... I know it's your job. And I'm like, no, you guys, you're saying it too much. Yeah. You know, all of that. I'm like, what's what we doing, man? The fans have changed, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. The club's changed, the atmosphere's changed. I'd do it now.
So you drop everything?
I'd drop it all now.
No more Top Boy.
No more Top Boy.